All right, guys. So I went to PAX East this weekend. Got a lot of cool stuff. I got some games. A little upset though. A couple of the games I got do not work at all. But I'll show you those too. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I did try to clean them, but we'll see. Got some other cool stuff, some swag, I guess you could call it. So, yeah, went to PAX East this weekend. It was fun. Played a lot of games. We're gonna maybe talk about some of those games and talk about what happened at PAX and show off some of the new games I got. So, since there's not too many people in here, I'm gonna start with a couple of the things that I saw while there. So, let's see. Yeah, I don't know where this came from, but this was like a. Oh, this is the might be the t-shirts I got, but this is a guy that makes clothing and stuff. But um, there, I did get this shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it. So let's go practice medicine. It's the medic from Team Fortress 2. I used to play a lot of Team Fortress 2, and since it's medicine related, I thought it'd be cool. I actually don't play a lot of Team Fortress 2 anymore, and when I did, I didn't really play as the medic that often. But I don't know if you guys have played that game, playing as the medic and also um, doubling up with the heavy is kind of like a cheat almost. It's a pretty powerful combo. So I also, what's up, Raj? Just going over some stuff from PAX. Good to see you, man. So I'm good. How are you, man? So I got this beta key. It's expired, as you can see. This is for Dune Awakening. I got to play that game. Not my kind of game. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I'm gonna show off some games here in a little bit too. I'm just waiting for more people to get in here for that, so I'm kind of showing off some other stuff at the time being, like some of the games I got to play. There's also I did a live stream while I was there. You can check that out. Should be the one posted right before this one, live stream, where I think I spent about an hour and 40 minutes almost walking around PAX, so showing off games and stuff. This is a cool game that's coming out. So it says God Save Birmingham, but it's basically, could you change your name to Doc Ock? That would be a lot cooler. I don't know, man. I've already built like a brand and stuff with this one. I think I'm gonna keep it, but I get the Spider-Man reference. So this is a cool game where it's like a zombie survival game, but you're in, what is it? Yeah, 14th century. So you get to use like pitchforks and stuff. You get to go around and find weapons and things. And it was interesting. I played it. I do like, zombie games, obviously, and survival games. So I thought that was kind of fun. Um, show off. This is howdy, homie. What's going on, man? Just showing off some stuff. So here's my badge. This is what the badges look like for PAX. Pretty cool design there. I had the 4 day, so I was there for all 4 days. All right. And then let's see. This actually, God Save Birmingham looks cool. It does. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm not sure if it's out. Let me see. Does it say if it's out yet? Wish list. No, you can put it on your wish list on Steam. It's only on PC. It wasn't on any consoles. You can put it on your wish list right now. So, medieval settings. Yeah, medieval settings with zombies, right? So, oh, this is where I got this shirt. The Team Fortress 2 Let's Go Practice Medicine. So, this is called Glitch Glitch Gaming Apparel. So they have Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff down here. If you guys want to follow them. But they make shirts and they're kind of funny shirts. A lot of them are Pokemon related. So like Charmander and Chipotle is Charpotle, or Mew is like Mountain Mew, Weepin' Bell for Taco Bell, Baja Blastoise. Those are some of the cool ones they had. But they do cool t-shirts, video game related. All right. Um, Inflamed. All right. So this, I don't even know if I'm gonna wear this, but this is like, I think this is supposed to be ears, goblin ears. So there's this game that it's on my live stream. You can check it out. But basically, you take this, you're racing in a car, and there's no brakes or slowing down. There's a gas button, but if you want to slow down, you have to yell into your microphone. There was one guy who was yelling a lot, so it was kind of comical actually. So all right, can't complain. Yeah, we actually saw each other at PAX, which was pretty cool. This is from Retroware, so they make a lot of games. So I know Raj was interested in the Angry Video Game Nerd 8-bit. I played it for a little bit. It was okay. There's a screenshot from it down there. It's kind of just like a platformer. And they have Iron Meat. I did not play that one. Prison City, I didn't play that one either. And then we got Toxic Crusaders, which I played a little bit of. It's a beat 'em up, arcade beat 'em up. And then these other two, yeah, I didn't play either of these other two, but there's some games from Retroware. I even got a poster from Retroware. It's a Toxic Avengers or Crusaders. Sorry, I was confused. Toxic Avengers and Toxic Crusaders. AVGN rocks. Toxic Crusaders, and then it's got kind of the characters and stuff about the game on the back. So I'll find a way to hang that up somewhere. Hopefully, got a little wrinkled in my suitcase, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Um, this is so if you guys are interested in supporting cancer research, they were here, the Jimmy Fund, for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. They're at Harvard Medical School, and they actually do some streams. They have some partners that do streams with them on Twitch. Oh yeah, yeah, I got a lot of stuff. Got mostly games though, and we'll get to the games in a second. But they do partner streams where they raise money for charity, and it's all on Twitch. So check them out if you ever have a chance. This game just beats and just shapes and beats. This is out now. I don't know if you guys have ever played this. It's by Berserk Studio. It's on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. It's on PC. Basically, it's like Geometry Wars. So you're this little shape and you're moving around trying to dodge all the things on the screen and make it to the end while really cool beats, music play. So that was pretty cool. I'm not going to show you the other side of these because I haven't used them yet, but there's codes on here for Dead by Daylight. I got to play a little bit of Dead by Daylight. Um, but this has a actual download for the base game and a download for the DLC, which is pretty cool because I don't own that game, so it'd be pretty cool to download it. And this has 300,000 blood points that you can get as well. And I assume that's for buying stuff in the game. Like I said, I've never played it before, but that is that. And then we got a couple other cards for some places. This is Controller Chaos. I know someone had asked about these guys that make controllers if they had a website. It says they make they're like $160 each. They're controllers with like different designs on them. They had a Fallout one, they had a Jurassic Park one in there. They had PS5. One guy had a couple Switch controllers, but mostly PS5 and a lot of Xbox as well. This is the same guy. Um, this is like one of those little um, things you put on the back of your phone. It's acts as like a wallet that someone randomly handed me, so I picked it up. And then one of the stores I bought a lot of stuff from that was at the convention is called Dial Up Games. So I assume they're located in Boston. I don't know for sure, but I'm about to show you a bunch of games, and I would say probably 60 to 70% of the games that I got were from this place. What does PAX stand for? That's a good question. I have no idea. I'll be honest, I don't know. If anyone finds that out or knows the answer, let me know. So then I also went to a local store in Boston. It was sweet. I did a live stream of that as well. That's actually up on Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can check that out. A live stream. Dial Up Games was so neat, and so was Game Underground. Yeah, dude. Um, but I went to outside the conference called Sudden Impact Retro. So he gave me this little glow in the dark bracelet, Sudden Impact Retro, like no place on earth. Penny Arcade Exchange. There you go. That's what PAX stands for. Penny Arcade Exchange. So he gave me that, and then I don't know what the heck these cards are. Some kind of like painting, he said, but he gave me one of these for free. So it's like a card. So I have no idea, like, and then he gave me another one. He was just like opening these cards as I was there. So I'm not really sure what those are for. But then he also gave me some cool cards. He gave me these cool Mario cards. So these are like, if you see down here, it's like some National Safe for Kids campaign, but they're like these little they're video game. This one's Super Mario Brothers. Paintings are cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're from. And then he gave me this one too. This is a Zelda one. So shout out to all you Zelda fans out there. So this is from Zelda 2. This one's even got like a PAX 2004 to 20 years. I think this just might be like a 20 years of PAX or something. All right. Then he also gave me, this is kind of cool and nostalgic. He used to, um, he has like a ton of Nintendo stuff in his store. But he has these calendars, and instead of throwing them away, what he did actually was he just made like this little hanging thing and added this little napkin on here from 1988. So if you look at the copyright on the back of this, it's from 1988, Nintendo of America. So it's like a little napkin, part of a little calendar that he made. And he gave me this for free as well. I don't know, Inflame Media, did you get a chance to make it over to Sudden Impact? I'm not sure if you did or not. And he also gave me this. This is like a little truck, and he actually got these trucks for cheap, and he made these. He used to sell them at PAX. And then it says Nintendo on the top. So, oh, and there's the little Mario guy in the back too. So, plays Zelda 2 on NES. I hear it's a hidden gem. Yeah, I have it. You mean this one right here? I played it. I played it a bit. It's okay. I'm not a huge Zelda fan though, so I never really got deeply into it. Um, and then the last thing I'll show you guys before we get to the games that I got. I picked this up. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil, as you guys know. I didn't sadly. I'll be going back up in September, October. Okay, yeah, definitely check it out, man. Definitely check it out. So I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and um they had a bunch of different characters, but one character from Resident Evil that doesn't get a lot of love is Tofu. So I got this little. It's like a duck. Beautiful copy. Yeah. Thanks, man. So they have like all these Resident Evil characters here. You can actually get these on Amazon if you want. I was gonna get the Hunk as well. I just didn't have enough room in my suitcase for more than one. And I felt like Tofu was the perfect guy to get because he doesn't get much love. Resident Evil 2, Tofu. He's an interesting character. He's just a stick of tofu that runs around with a knife. You have to unlock him essentially. All right. Now let's get to the games. The Tubbs booth was awesome. Yeah, Tubbs was awesome. Exactly. I want to buy more. I just didn't have enough room in my suitcase. All right, let's get to the games. So there was another store. I don't recall the name of it in Boston, but I did manage to get a Sega Genesis Game Genie. And I went through and tested all these. There's a couple that don't work. I'll tell you when we get to those. But this has the book and everything. It's very nice. Um, I don't have any Game Genies, and I've always wanted them just to kind of have as part of the collection. So I need the NES and SNES one as well. But we got this one first. So all right. This I didn't get at the convention. This came in the mail while I was gone. I had ordered it online. So this is Pokemon Stadium 2. So Um, so if you look at this, you're like, oh, cool. Looks like a great copy. Yeah, this is awesome. And this is the pictures I saw online, and it was a trusted seller. But when you turn it over, it's actually got a gray back, and it's got this big old sticker. Someone swapped either backs or fronts or something on the cartridge here. So not a huge fan of this. Probably trade it for a better one at some point, sell it and get a actual uniform cartridge. But for right now, it'll do for the collection. All right. We got a lot of NES games. I think the most of anything I got was NES. So we're going to go ahead and do the NES. So we got Arch Rivals for NES. I've already went through and tested these and cataloged them in my collection, but Arch Rivals. So this is like a NBA Jam, but on the NES. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. I guess that's supposed to be like Larry Bird there, maybe, and that's Dennis Rodman, and I don't know. It's pretty fun. It's multiplayer, play with your friends. So Other game. This is another one that came in the mail while I was gone. I didn't actually get it from the convention, but this is Fester's Quest. It's a game I had been looking for to add because I've heard a lot about it. I've never played it. I played it for about 5 minutes a little bit ago, and yeah, interesting to say the least. Fester's Quest. Another one that came in the mail while I was gone is Mickey Mousecapade. So I played this for a little bit as well. It's an interesting game. You're like controlling two characters at once, Mickey and Minnie, and so you're moving them both. So like if you get ahead of Minnie in the level, she's still gonna move the same direction and she'll run right into like enemies and stuff. So it takes a little bit of thought to play this game, but definitely one that I wanted to add to my collection. I heard a lot about it. All right. The rest of these, I'm pretty sure, came from the conference. So there's one more that didn't, but I'll let you know when we get to that one. So this is Wayne Gretzky Hockey for NES. Now, the special thing about this one is that Wayne Gretzky has a white jersey, and a lot of times this game exists, but he has, I think it's black or blue. It's not white. The jersey's not white. So this is a little more rare. But I played this game for a little bit. I mean, hockey games on NES are terrible. They're tough, man. They are difficult. So I played it for a little bit, and it was not a lot of fun. I'll be honest with you. Please don't forget to add Cyberknife for SNES. It's a hidden gem. Oh yeah, I've been looking for it. I just want to find it for a good deal. If I can get it for a good deal, I'm gonna definitely snatch it up. So I looked for it here actually at the conference, and I didn't see anybody that had it. So hopefully I can find it. Next game is McKids, which is a basically McDonald's game made by Virgin Games. So it's two player. It can be two player or one player, and you basically it's kind of creative. It almost reminded me a little bit of Mario the way it played, but it's a lot of fun. Played it for a little bit. Ronald McDonald's in there. Are you into horror movies? Are you going to see a new Final Destination? I'm not super into horror movies. No, I don't have any. I mean, if I have nothing else to do, I might go see the Final Destination movie, but otherwise, I'll probably just wait till it comes out on streaming or something. Cart variants on NES and so on blows my mind. Yeah, I love the cart variants. I love finding like different variants of carts and stuff. So, all right, next up, still got more NES to go through here. We got TNC Surf Designs. So someone had been on previously, Andy, actually. Andy Loves Retro, um, who's a pretty popular streamer. He was on here a while back and he recommended this game or asked if I had it, and I didn't have it at the time. So, Andy, if you're watching, I got it. Played it for a little bit, didn't get too far into it, um, but I can see why this is kind of like a classic game that everyone should play. I never played it when I was younger. So, and then we got The Goonies 2. So, fun fact, so this is the Goonies 2. There's no Goonies 1 that was released in the US. So, if you're looking for a US version of Goonies 1 on an NES, you will not find it. But this is the Goonies 2, which is a pretty good shape. This is in pretty good shape. All right. So next up we'll do Super Nintendo. So I got a couple Super Nintendo games as well. So the first one's one I hadn't heard of. I looked at the cover and I thought it was cool, and it's called Rap Jam Volume 1. And it's basically a basketball game. It's kind of like playing NBA Jam. I played it for a little bit, but there's a lot of rap music in it, and it's one on one. But it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I like games like this where they take sports and they kind of get rid of the rules or they change something and make it a little more interesting. So definitely a fun one to check out. Glad I picked it up. All right, and then I picked up Mario's Time Machine. If you've ever watched my episode that I did, oh, actually, it hasn't aired yet. There is going to be an episode that I air where one of the guys mentions Mario's Time Machine. He has a complete in box for NES, and I'd never heard of it, but I got to pick it up on Super Nintendo. which is this one I got at um, the gaming store. The guy that gave me all the free stuff. This is the game because I wanted to buy something from there, and so this is the one I picked up. All right, and then the last Super Nintendo is kind of a gem. We got Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. So this is a Mario game that I think I really like Paper Mario, and so I thought maybe this might be similar. Haven't played it yet. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not a fan of RPGs, but it's Mario, so maybe it'll be a little better, but we'll see. So Super Mario RPG, I'd found this in multiple places before, all over the place, but they were charging twice what Price Charting was charging, and I finally found a spot that was charging just about right where Price Charting was, so I bought it. There's a guy that's actually selling this and wanted 120 for it. It goes for 55 on Price Charting at the conference. So needless to say, I didn't buy that copy. That was a little too high. All right, next up, um, got a couple of Sega Saturn games here. So this one came in the mail actually today. So Sonic 3D Blast. Someone told me this is a really fun Sonic game on Sega Saturn. So I picked it up. I've been adding more games to my Sega Saturn collection, which is nice because I don't have that many. And I'm definitely trying to get the good ones. I know there's a lot of not so good ones, but this one, I played for a little bit, and it's exactly what you would think it is. It's Sonic, but in 3D. So, and then kind of the most expensive game I got over the weekend. Yep, yep, let's go. Most expensive game I got over the weekend was Die Hard Arcade. So I love the Die Hard trilogy game on PlayStation. This is kind of like a sequel to it, I guess. But it's like a beat 'em up game, arcade style kind of. It's a lot of fun. And it's also multiplayer, which is nice. There's lots of weapons and everything. So I played this for about 5 to 10 minutes as well. I always test all my games, and this actually was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to playing this again, hopefully with a teammate or something. All right, now the next game I wanted to get because it's survival horror and it's on Sega, and it's Corpse Killer, Sega Saturn, Graveyard Edition. So this is complete. This is super complete in here. And it was a good price. This is like a shooting game. I need to get one of the gun cons so that I can play some of these a little more in a more fun manner. But unfortunately, so it's even got like these coupons in here and a GamePro magazine subscription thing for free. But the problem is Disc 2 works just fine. Disc 1 does not work. Disc 1 doesn't work. I even sent it through my rebuffer, and it's hard to tell, but there are just some scratches in there, just a couple that are pretty deep. Corpse Killer, I learned about that game just today. Well, I'm not able to even play it because it doesn't work. So I need to find a disc one of Corpse Killer so that I can play this game. This is kind of a lesson, I guess. Just make sure you guys it's when you buy games, then you're not able to test them right away. It's kind of hard. So don't do that if it's like super expensive, because then you never know if yeah, never heard of it. I'd heard of it briefly. And the other game I got was Super Monkey Ball 2. This is, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it happens, man. But this one also, Super Monkey Ball 2. I have Super Monkey Ball 1. I had been told that Super Monkey Ball 2 is even better. And so I was excited to pick Super Monkey Ball 2 up. But Super Monkey Ball 2 doesn't work. Again, I tried to clean the disc off a little bit and I couldn't get it to work. I learned they remastered it for PS4 5 years ago. Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah, it's a classic game. And then see the disc on this one? It's hard to see for you guys probably, but there are just a couple of deep scratches in there, and it wouldn't read the disc. I don't know why. It's not my GameCube because another game works just fine. So unfortunately, I just need this game because now I have the box and everything, the inserts, the manual, but I don't have a working game. So these two I kind of set off to the side because I need to figure out what I want to do with those. So that is all the games I got. That is all the cool stuff I got. If you want to know anything about PAX, let me know. Um, while you guys are here, make sure you know that on Saturday, so this Saturday at I want to say 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern this Saturday. I'm gonna do a live stream. We're gonna have two people. It's gonna be Yeah, That's Retro and Downstab. They are two Instagrammers who post a lot of their collection. Um, yeah, That's Retro streams a little bit of his games as well, but they're gonna be on and we're gonna go over some music trivia. So they're gonna be a competition between the two of them. We'll see who gets the most. We're going to stream that live as long as I can get it to work. I'm going to do a test run later this week, hopefully, just to make sure everything's set up properly. But we're going to play some music. You can guess along at home, and we'll see who gets more right. I think we'll probably do about 10 songs. Some may be easy, some may be hard, but we'll see how it goes. So that's Saturday. A new episode's dropping tomorrow. It's with a guy named Sir Jumps a Lot. If you like PC games, he collects a lot of PC games as well, which is one of the first time I've had somebody on here. He has a lot of the limited run games as well. So if you like limited run, you can see a lot of cool limited run stuff. They had a booth at PAX, which was cool. Excited to watch that on Saturday. Thanks, man. I hope it all works out. There's a couple people who've told me they're going to come and watch, and I hope it works. I hope the two guys show up that are supposed to show up. Otherwise, we'll find a way to make it work. We'll improvise. We'll figure it out on the fly. So, got that. We've got a few more episodes to film this week. And then I've got a couple, not next week, but the week after. I think total in terms of what I have to film and what I have already released, I'll be at 38 episodes. So I'm trying to get to at least 52 before I say, okay, this is the end of season one. But we'll see. I'm still gonna do the lives and everything, even if I'm not doing the podcast. And then hopefully I'm gonna move into also doing some streaming where I play a few games while you guys watch. So got some other ideas for other competitions, not just the music one, like a video game quotes as well to name what game it came from. So we'll see if that all works out. But um, normally I can see like how many people are in here. This isn't really, this is odd. Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't, the YouTube app doesn't, hmm, that's weird. But yeah, what are you guys up to on this Tuesday afternoon? Has anyone ever played the Die Hard arcade game? It's supposed to be a pretty good game on Sega Saturn. I never had a Sega Saturn growing up, but I always wanted one, so I'm struggling to find any good Sega Saturn games, but I think this is one of them. And also the same with Sonic, Sonic 3D Blast. So we've been rolling for like 30 minutes, so feel free to share the stream. I'm surprised For Reals Y'all's not in here. He's usually always in here, so hmm, apparently my phone is not connected to the Wi-Fi. So yeah, if you're new here, if you're dropping by, say hi. You know, we've already discussed that Raj, Raj likes when people talk to him. So make sure you say hi. Drop a follow. Podcast has new episodes. About to go get my grandparents before I go into work at 10. Want to check out that Die Hard game. I just keep forgetting. It's pretty awesome. I like it. Yeah, I played it for a little bit and I really enjoyed it. So I love the Die Hard games, all the Die Hard movies as well. They're a lot of fun. You work at 10 p.m., so you work nights, man? That stinks. I think I would prefer to work at nights, honestly, because I work when I did a little bit of nights, I enjoyed it much more than working at the daytime. Nights are fun because I just feel like it's quieter. There's less people around to bother you. So kudos to you though for working nights, man. Let's see. What else we got? I'm really excited. I am excited to check this one out. It's like I said, I liked Paper Mario and I finally found this one for a good deal. Which was not easy to do. I mean, it's still probably more than you should pay for a game like this, but at least it at least it was within price charting. So I'm excited about that. I don't deal with customers and I can focus on myself. No, I hear you. That's exactly what I think is better about working nights is because you're kind of all to yourself. You can like listen to music in your headphones, whatever you want to do. No one bothers you. So yeah, that's awesome. All right, we've been going for like 30 minutes. So I think it's about what is it, 5:30? I should have probably started like an hour later, but I wanted to finish sooner tonight with a live stream. I think the next live stream, I know I've been saying forever that I'm going to do it, but the good news is I'm not expecting any more games to come in the mail. Probably not going to purchase any more games until I move. So, light gun shooters for PS2, Time Crisis 2. Ooh, I've heard of Vampire Knights. I've not played it. Ninja Assault, I've not heard of. And obviously, Time Crisis, I've heard of. I do want to get those. I used to have a light gun when I was younger, complete with a gun con too. I used to have a light gun when I was younger. I'm gonna have to get when I move into my new place. I'm gonna have to get a new CRT. I don't have a CRT right now, so I know those guns don't work on TVs unless they're CRT. Unless you know one that works on a like a 1080p high definition television, then yeah, I'll use. I'd love to know if there's one that does that because I love those kind of games. Definitely want to play those. Yeah, but my next stream, I think live stream, what I'll do is since I've yeah been saying I'm gonna do it for a while, I don't have any new games coming in. I'm gonna get try and get some of my more expensive games, like the sealed ones I have and all that stuff that are on display, and then show those off. There's probably about 20, 25 to go through, maybe. So we'll show that off. I don't know when it's going to be. I think this week's kind of tight. I don't know that I'll be able to do one this week again. If I do, it would be Saturday or Sunday. Next week, I definitely won't do any live streaming because I'll be on call all week. But the week after, I may have a few days that I can do it. We'll see. Maybe Saturday or Sunday this week. I think I have. So Saturday we have the show, obviously, so that's going to be a live stream. But then Sunday I might be able to do one as well. But I think I'm filming a podcast episode on Sunday. So, but yeah, feel free to, ask anything if you want to see something in the collection, if you have any questions. Again, this is the Say Hi to Raj channel. We all love when people come and say hi to him. He actually loves it himself. So, all right. So, what else is new? What else can we talk about? PAX was fun. There were a lot of cool games I got to play. If you haven't watched the live stream that I did while I was at PAX, make sure you watch it. Goes through and shows a bunch of cool stuff they had for sales. Shows a bunch of different games that they had that you could play. So we are at 33 minutes. We've been streaming. I can't. I used to be able to see. Let me see. Let me mess with this. Hopefully this doesn't ruin anything. No current live streams. It says. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. So we got four concurrent viewers, it says, and we've got 11 total views. So we've got, four people in here. Make sure you say hi. The only two I've seen say anything are Inflamed Media and Raj, but, make sure if you love video games, you know, do you like Die Hard? What's your favorite console? If you're new here, that's what I want to know is what your favorite console is that you love to play of all time. Favorite console of all time. I think we've gone over this before, but sometimes there's new people in here. So again, some of the games I got, we got Goonies 2, which is there's no Goonies 1. So if someone asks you if you have Goonies 1 on NES, they're just messing with you because there's no such thing. We got Super Mario RPG. Please smash the like button. Exactly what Raj said. Smash the like button. Make sure you chat it up. That's how we get more people in here. That's how we get, you know, more people to talk about gaming. I don't know about you guys, but I love talking about games or hearing about games I've never heard of, finding games. So this is a cool one. This is help the good doctor out. Exactly. Appreciate you, Raj. Thanks, man. Let me see. I wonder if I can make you a mod. Let's see. How do I do this? Uh, nope. Ooh, I can put you in timeout. Oh, here we go. Can manage block words and change chat. What? I don't know what this is. There you go. I think I just made you a mod, Raj. No Goonies 2 movie, but a Goonies 2 game. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that funny? It's like backwards. So this Wayne Gretzky is cool because it has a white jersey and the more common cartridge has a different color jersey on Wayne Gretzky there. So, um, and then we got McKids again. This is a cool. If you like McDonald's, if you're a huge McDonald's fan, which I know there are some people who just absolutely love McDonald's, you gotta check this game out. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, what else we got? We got TNC Surf Designs, which was recommended to me, so I picked it up. Cybernator is another one I'm gonna have to pick up based on Raj's recommendations. So, uh, we got some more Super Nintendo too. We got Mario's Time Machine, which is a game I had never heard of before. So, never heard of Mario's Time Machine. I actually played this one, and I started from the beginning. I didn't load someone's save, and I started, and I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, it was definitely not easy. And another basketball game that people may not have heard of is Rap Jam. Pretty cool game. I'm a mod now. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Raj. I usually mod the people who are in here most often and who support the channel in a good way. Sometimes people come in here and they say things that are inappropriate, but not you, Raj. Gray to blue. Oh yeah, yeah. Your color changed on your name. You made it, Raj. You made it. Got the Game Genie here. This is pretty cool. The thing I realized though, because I was trying to find a game to test the Game Genie with, is that not all games not all games are in here. This doesn't have codes for every game. So I had to actually kind of look for a little while until I found a game. Like, for example, if you, thank you, Doctor, my brother for life. No problem, man. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you always showing up. So, like, if you wanted a game, if you wanted Lion King, right? So let's see, let's go to L. Where's M? So we got Lakers versus Celtics. We got Last Battle. See, this is how it looks on the inside of the book. And then we got M1 Abrams Tank. So there's no Lion King game in here. So I think the one that I had that I used was Sonic. So there's Sonic. I'll have to see. Oh, let me see. Oh, this is for Sega. Never mind. There's Cyberball. That kind of reminds me of Cybernator. I'm gonna have to look up Cybernator and see what it's about. So, guys, make sure that you like, you follow, you do all the things, especially if you're new here. Um, love to have people come in and chat. Again, Pokemon Stadium 2. This is, if I sent you this and said, "Here, I'm going to sell you this game," I bet you would think the whole thing is gold, right? But unfortunately, I got duped and it's gray on the back. So someone replaced the cartridges. That's okay. It's okay. I'm pretty sure there's some sparkle to the gray. So I'm pretty sure that's not how this is supposed to look. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the whole thing was supposed to be gray. We'll see. We got Corpse Killer, which is a light gun game, which is a lot of fun, which I wish I could play. But if you guys know where I can find a um, disc one, let me know because this has everything in it. It has, look at this. Did anyone ever have Game Pro magazine? I had this when I was younger. This is a free first issue to Game Pro. Wonder if this would still work. Let's see. Doesn't say if it expires. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I should send this in and see what happens. And then it's got this $5 off coupon for like your next DP game, oh, digital pictures game. So Double Switch, Corpse Killer. I wonder if I can still use this. Maybe I should take this to a retro game store and try and buy one of these. Try and buy one of these games, just like an advertisement for some of their other games. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Whoops. All right. And then obviously I showed this off earlier, but these are cool. Check these out. Whoops. You can get these on Amazon Hubs, TUBBZ. But this is Tofu, one of my favorite characters from Resident Evil. He doesn't get enough love. You don't see a lot of Tofu items out there. Mick, Mickey Mousecapade. It's a fun game. Played it for a little bit. So yeah, what do you guys want to see? I'm not, whatever you guys want to see. I also got some. I ordered online and got a game in the mail, and I got some free Pokemon cards. And I don't know anything about Pokemon cards, but I know this is like Venusaur is like rare, right? It's like the final. The guy just threw these in, so Venusaur, and then I've never heard of this one, Zekrom. That one I don't know anything about. And then I'm probably butchering these names, but Risharam. These are like some cards that some dude just threw in for free. Oh yeah, I always buy stuff in good condition. If it's a disc, so if it's a disc game, I gotta have the manual. I don't buy anything that, and also sometimes I'll buy stuff and it'll have stickers on it, but I'll clean the stickers off. So when I show it to you, it's been cleaned if it has stickers on it. But Corpse Killer is an example where, I wanted the manual, I wanted everything on the inside. So it's funny too because they had another copy of this and I should have bought the other one because maybe the other one actually works and this one doesn't. But you snooze, you lose, right? Same with GameCube. If I'm buying a GameCube, I get, has to have the manual. Has to have the manual. Same with Sega. I have a few Sega games and PS2 games that don't have manuals. When my early collecting days were on, Pokemon cards are more precious than good health. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know they're pretty popular now. But I'll get manuals for those. Now, if it's a cartridge game, I don't get the manual for it. So, like NES games, I don't do manuals. Super Nintendo games, I don't do manuals. And Nintendo 64, I don't do manuals for. Now, there's a few exceptions in my collection. I have a couple of games up here that have a manual with them. Let's see. Trying to find one. Yeah, so here's one. And they're just random and it's because it's the only way I found to buy the game when I was in a game store. They had it with the manual, so like Steel Cage Challenge from WrestleMania, I have the manual for that one back here. So there's a couple that have manuals from my NES collection. I don't think any of my SNES games have manuals, and then none of my N64 games have manuals. So yeah. So, guys, we got 45 minutes in. So, I guess I kind of went a little fast showing through my games that I got. Maybe I'll wait a few minutes and I'll start rolling through them again. So, I'll give it about 15 minutes and then I'll roll through the games I got again. Make sure you guys like the live and make sure you guys follow if you're not already following. Make sure you chat. Love to chat about games. So, whatever you guys want to chat about that's game related, just let me know. 14 views, two people in here. I'm gonna start, yeah. Manuals are so precious now. Yeah, and especially boxes too now. I won't go out of my way to buy a box for a game. There are a few complete in box and sealed Nintendo 64 games I have, PlayStation games. Just because they're like special games to me that meant a lot growing up, and one of them is also one that I just won like in a random auction. So it wasn't one. It's I have a complete in box Mario Tennis. I don't even have Mario Tennis loose, but I have a complete in box Mario Tennis, and that was because I won it in an auction, random auction. So speaking of some rare games, here's Final Fight Guy. A lot of people don't know about Final Fight Guy. Stop making manuals in the middle of the PS3 and Xbox. I was saddened. Oh yeah, they don't make manuals anymore, do they? They don't make manuals. Everything's digital now too, which sucks. The best part was getting to read a manual. So I love reading manuals. I'm sure you probably did too. So I know I showed this game last week, but Cryon Conquest. I played this for a little bit. It's literally just Mega Man. The enemies, the levels, the characters, it's just straight up the sounds. So this is Final Fight Guy. Final Fight Guy is like let's see. I don't have the third one. I don't have the third one, but you've got Final Fight. Oops. And you have Final Fight 2, and then I believe there's a Final Fight 3. It's a side-scroll beat 'em up game. And then you got Final Fight Guy. So this one even has the Blockbuster sticker on the back here. We got 16 views. We got 4 people in here, guys. If you're new here, say hi. Tell us what your favorite console is, what your favorite game is. We'll see if we have it. And then make sure you say hi to Raj. Raj loves when people say hi to him. So don't forget to say hi to Raj. Here's one of my favorite no video game magazines anymore. Yeah, they don't make them anymore. And they used to make they used to come with demo discs. That was awesome. I had the Xbox magazine with all the demos. And then PlayStation Underground had them as well. There was the official Xbox magazine. Yeah, those were pretty cool. Looney Tunes B-Ball is a lot of fun if you guys have never played it. Looney Tunes B-Ball. It's basically NBA Jam, but with Looney Tunes people, you know? So, uh-huh. I love the look of the black cartridges on Killer Instinct here. I show this off often, but so here's a normal Super Mario 64 cartridge. I think, yeah, this is a legit cartridge. For some reason, I thought maybe this might be a repro, but this is real. This is not a repro. But then if you look at this one, see it says not for resale. So there's a not for resale logo on this one. So the cartridges are pretty much identical with the exception of the not for resale. So they look almost exactly identical. Hey, nice collection, dude. Have a great stream today. Good luck getting more viewers. Oh, thanks, man. Wibs McWobs. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, if you're not a follower already, I hope to see you in the future. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. So I was looking for, so I went to the store actually. So there's a lot of Blitz games for 64. I think there's this one, there's NFL Blitz 2000. There's also the special edition Blitz, which was a Blockbuster exclusive. I've been trying to get that one, and I tried to buy it, and the guy basically told me that it wasn't for sale. He had it in his store, and I was like, why would you put it up in a display if you're not going to sell it? I just, especially if it's a rare game like that, people are going to want it. Back in the day, I'd collect Game Pro. Yep, I had Game Pro. And EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, is another one. Shed behind my house sometime after I saw termites had attacked. Oh no. Dad had to give me a sedative slap across the face. Man, that's unfortunate, dude. Resident Evil 3 on Dreamcast. I must admit I didn't even know this was on Dreamcast. I picked this up last week. Or last stream I did, I showed it, but I didn't even know it existed. So I had to get it to finish my Dreamcast collection. Do you have the game called Cruising Around the World? I have a cruising game. Let's see. Which cruising game do I have? I don't think I have cruising around the world. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Oh man, I need more shelf space because these are getting a little disorganized now. Cruising. I think I have Cruising USA. I have Cruising USA. It's a crazy large box for Shredder's Revenge. It looks like the same size as Bayonetta 3. Yeah, it's a special edition. It's sealed. What's open on top and everything inside is sealed. Um, I'll show it off one of these days. But yeah, Defo Zappo, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate you being here. Um, thanks for coming. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. I do new podcast episodes every week, once a week on Wednesdays. I interview new retro video game collectors. We talk about cool stuff. We see some rare things, things we've never seen. So, Around the World has a secret level for being first in every race. You get sent on a rocket to the moon. That's awesome. When you mentioned 64 and Rocket, though, there's a game called Rocket actually. So I don't know if you this is by Ubisoft, who I'm a big fan of Ubisoft. They made a lot of good games. So if you haven't seen them, any of their games, check them out. I'm gonna take a little jog in the park before the sun goes down. I'll catch you next time over there. All right, Raj, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, I doubt I'll still be on when you get back, but if I am, pop in, dude. Someone when I was walking around the conference in one of the game stores, someone was actually looking for this game, Bushido Blade. So if you've never played it, it's basically a fighting game with swords, and there's no health bars. You get hit, you die, you know. So it's very difficult. At least I thought so. But yeah. All right, 7 people are in here right now. Guys, if you're in here, drop, what your favorite game is, what your favorite console is, and let's just get chatting. We're here to talk about games, talk about retro games. I'll show off some games and love to hear from you guys about stuff. Make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you do all those things to support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I collect physical copies too, all sealed because I'm making up for all SNES games I grew up with that I don't have anymore. Absolutely, man. So I don't do any sealed SNES or anything. I do a lot of for cartridges, I do the loose because I don't feel like paying that much for cardboard, but it's kind of the same thing for me. I first started by getting the games I knew I had when I was younger, and so I collected all those. And now I've done that. So now I've been buying games that either people recommend to me or I've never played and I wanted to play when I was younger and I didn't have the money or time to get it. So now I can get it. Bushido Blade is incredible. Oh yeah, I I'm terrible at it, so but it is a lot of fun. It's a very interesting concept. So here's Turtles in Time. This is a pretty good game. I love the all the Turtles games, but this is the not for resale version. So if you see the not for resale here, this is the ones that you played in the kiosk at like Toys R Us or something. So so I'll be moving soon, so I'll have a new setup, but um kind of gonna go back and show off some of the ones I picked up this weekend at PAX. So we got McKids here, fun little game. I have a sealed copy of this actually. I did get a sealed copy of McKids because it was a great deal. I couldn't pass it up. We got Fester's Quest. These are all things I got this weekend while I was at PAX. There were a few game stores in town, and then there was the game store, a couple game stores in PAX as well. Arch Rivals is a lot of fun if you've never played it. Mainly buying Switch games, especially Atlas, Capcom, and Nipponichi Software Box Edition. Nice. I have a Switch. I I don't play it nearly enough as I play some of my other games, honestly. I didn't get a Switch 2 for that reason. So let me fix the camera here. So yeah, um, but Switch is fun. I think there's a different environment when it comes to Switch games versus Xbox games versus like PlayStation games. It's always kind of been that way, in my opinion. I got Rap Jam Volume 1, which I never heard of this game. I assume there's a Volume 2, but I don't know 100%. I'm really into variants and stuff, and so I had to get this. This is a um, Wayne Gretzky hockey. He's in a white jersey in this cover, and so there's more um, copies of this. There's one where he has no logo on the white jersey, and there's another where he has a different color jersey. I think this is the rarest of the three. So Mario's Time Machine, another rare kind of random Mario game that not a lot of people know exist. It's kind of like Mario is Missing. It's very it reminds me very much of that, like the cover and everything. So, and I don't know who it says it's made by the Software Toolworks. So, never heard of them. Not sure if they got permission to use Mario. I'm sure they did. Then we got TNC, Town and Country, Surf Designs. Someone had requested this, so I did manage to find this and picked it up. Um, we got Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Game I have not played, but looking forward to playing it. Got a good deal on that one. Switch has so many JRPGs that Mario's Missing is in great shape. I remember that game. Yeah, I try to get a lot of games. I try to get my games in great shape. And if I can't, and I don't really pay the money, sometimes they'll have stickers and stuff, but I've been experienced enough to get those off, which is good. The Goonies 2, which, we were talking about this earlier. There's no Goonies 1 in the US. So I don't know where you guys are watching from, but there's no Goonies 1. There is a Goonies 2. I've been wanting this one for a while, so I finally got it. And we got Mario RPGs in it. Yeah. So funny story about Mario RPG. I've been looking for this game for a while. It goes for I think $55 on price charting. I paid $55 for this, but I've found it in five other locations since then, and it's not been less than 100 for a loose copy, and I have no idea why. But and it's got the little embossed number back here. I don't know if you guys can see. There's probably just a big glare, but it is a legit copy. It's not a repro or anything. But I didn't want to pay over 100. That just seemed ridiculous. And I found this one finally for the right price, and I said, yeah, I got to buy it because I haven't seen any copies that are within normal price range. So Die Hard Arcade I also picked up. I'm looking for more Sega Saturn games. I've actually added technically two, I guess. I bought one and it didn't work. Um, but I'm looking for more good Sega Saturn games. So that will make, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I think I have nine. I think I have nine Sega Saturn games now because I also managed to get a copy of Sonic 3D Blast. So heard this is one of the more fun Sonic games. Lots of people have told me that they like this one, so excited to try it out. Which is funny now that I'm looking, this picture in the top right, actually, yeah, this picture in the top right is like from the very first level. Which is interesting. So when I say that I had like two and a half, two, I actually picked this game up as well, Corpse Killer, but unfortunately it doesn't have a working disc. So disc one didn't work, disc two does. So I need to find it. But what's cool about it is it has this little Game Pro free first issue thing to send in. And it's also got this $5 coupon if you buy another one of this company's games. All your games are in incredible shape. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. They aren't all though, I must say. Trying to find one that's not in such great shape. Let me see if I can find one. I try to buy them, like I said, being in good shape. Well, an example of one is so I got this for a discount. So Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. So it looks great. It looks like it's in good shape, but I mean the manual is I mean, this probably isn't that bad or hard. There's like some coffee stains on the staples there, and then the first couple pages here, there's kind of some stains, hard to see. But, you know, it still works, it still plays, it still has the manual, which is more than you can say for some games. So there's that one. And then, oh, I actually have another. Let's see. I do have another game. Here's a good game. Do you remember Toomba for PS1? Oh, Toomba, hold on. Oh, I thought I had Toomba, but I actually have Toomba 2. So I have Toomba 2. This is complete in box here. Maybe I do have Toomba. I have to look, but this one popped right out. After I removed these from the shelf a bunch of times, the alphabeticalization, I don't know if that's a word, alphabeticalization, but they're not as alphabetized anymore. This is Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is a classic game. Highly recommend if you haven't played it. Unfortunately, this Conker's Bad Fur Day is a reproduction cart. So if you look at like that copyright on that Nintendo, that's just like way off. And then there's no, a lot of times there'll be an embossed little number back here. This one does not have that little number. So, and then as well, might be harder to see, but the pins are like very white. So this I bought because I bought it online. It was told it was a real copy, but I guess when I first started collecting, the price was too good to be true. So I should have listened to that. So, so I do love playing Pumbaa's a new game. Yeah, definitely. I do love playing games that people tell me are the worst game they've ever played. If you watch the podcast, new episodes every Wednesday, where I interview new collectors, I always ask them what the worst game they've ever played is. That's something I've started doing. And if I hear one that sounds interesting to me, I'll pick it up. This was actually a post I did on TikTok, where someone commented that Largo Winch was the worst game they've ever played. So um, let me tell you, this game is not fun. I don't know if you can see very well, but the graphics are terrible. Controls are a little weird. It's almost like trying to be like a Mission Impossible sort of thing, but it does not do a good job. It's a rough game, man. So this is kind of like Jim Power for SNES. Okay. Jim Power. So I was gonna say this is Dynamite Cop. This reminds me a lot of Die Hard Arcade. And what I was told was that this is actually the sequel to Die Hard Arcade. So I don't know if that's true, but um, Jim Power. I gotta look that up. Let me look up Jim Power. Oops. Let's see. Let's see how much it's going for as well. SNES. Oh well, the Jim Power, The Lost Dimension. Oh, it's pretty cheap. I'm just looking at the cover art, and the cover art looks terrible. So yeah, I definitely need to pick that one up. And it's not that expensive, which is nice too. So I don't know if you guys ever played this game, Seaman. So this was a basically a game where you controlled this little guy from birth, had to feed him, had to do stuff like that. But this has a microphone, so you can talk to him and do all this stuff. So it's a pretty cool concept. I think they should remake something like it. It would be pretty fun if they did. Um, Mario Kart competitor, Crash Team Racing. Not a lot of people know about this one, but Crash Team Racing was a lot of fun. For those of us that didn't have Nintendo 64s growing up, we had PlayStations. That would be me. We had to play Crash Team Racing. So, let's see. Okay, so another one. So, here's a game I bought online that was billed to me as being complete in box. So, he showed this, right? He opened this up, it's got this little family video sticker on there, unfortunately. It's the worst. Check out SNES Drunk Review on Jim Power. He correctly states that it'll give you a migraine because of parallax scrolling. I'm gonna have to check it out. What I want to start doing is streaming some pretty bad games, so I'm gonna get a collection of them. But like, look, this looks pretty complete, right? But actually, look, this is broken. Okay, first of all, which wasn't really demonstrated to me when I bought it. And then the manual. Check out this manual. Look, manual, nothing, nothing in it. And I know that there should be more because this is page 25 and this is page 1, obviously. But yeah, so I got duped on this one. This one's not in great condition, but it is what it is. We're happy that the game at least works. So I did get to play the game. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for games, whether they be bad or good, let me know. In terms of my collection, I collect for NES, SNES, N64, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, and GameCube. So those are all the consoles I collect for. I don't do anything newer than that. I do have a few Xbox 360 games and a few Xbox One games that I have down here. I don't really collect for that per se. A lot of people like Zelda. Many people have seen this before, though. It's the Legend of Zelda promotional disc. I'm not a huge Zelda fan, um, but I did like Ocarina and I did like Majora's Mask. And so this includes all those as well as a Wind Waker playable demo. And then if you guys like Zelda stuff, um, let's see. I've got this Zelda as well, which is a two-game bonus disc, Ocarina Master Quest and Ocarina. They were released. This is definitely a cool find. Guys, let me know what your favorite game is, what your favorite console is. If you're new here, make sure you chat. We definitely love chatting about games here. I just do this for fun. I do this to learn from you guys. Hopefully, you learn from me. The things that I learn, I try to tell you guys about, but I learn something new every day. Zelda Link to the Past is one of my favorites. We got The Legend of Zelda here. These are the only ones I ever played other than the Nintendo 64 ones. Adventures of Link. And I just picked up Zelda for N64, but I honestly don't know where it is right now because I haven't put it on the shelf yet. So it's definitely somewhere. Definitely somewhere. Here's a game that not a lot of people might know about. Actually, I think got banned or something. Chiller. Um, I don't want to get this video taken down, so I don't really talk about what this game is, but just Google it, just look it up. And the case is different because it's not an officially licensed Nintendo product, so they weren't allowed to use the same cartridge design. So it's a very interesting game. I can kind of see why, I guess, they got rid of it, but and then for the I don't know, you can't really see this, but we got the Nintendo World Championships NES edition, and this is sealed. I've never opened this. Not played it yet. Um, Kind of just like as a collector thing to have. But I have a few sealed. I have a couple graded games. Not happy about that, but that was just the way I ended up getting them. But I have a lot of sealed and complete in box in another room, and I'm going to do a stream at some point, kind of show all those off. Rock and Rolla. No, this is not. Here, I'll go through and let you know. I'll show you what I picked up at PAX. We'll talk a little bit about PAX here. So I'll go quickly. I've done it a couple times. So Mario's missing, or sorry, Mario's Time Machine. I have Mario's missing elsewhere. Oops. I got a rare variant of Wayne Gretzky's hockey. This has the white jersey, which is a little more rare. Favorites are Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Super Metroid, Link to the Past, Resident Evil. Man, Resident Evil, you've come to the right place. That is my favorite franchise of all time. So another thing I got from PAX actually was this tofu from Resident Evil 2, which I thought was really cool. So um, I'm gonna have to display that. Let's put them up here. Put them right there for now. There we go. All right, and then back to games from PAX. So I also got Mickey Mousecapade. I got Super Monkey Ball 2, but unfortunately it doesn't work. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I got Die Hard Arcade for Sega Saturn. So you're Defo Zappo, you're really into the RPGs, it looks like then. I never really got into RPGs. Corpse Killer, this also disc 1 doesn't work, but disc 2 does. I got Sonic 3D Blast. I got Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I got the Goonies 2. TNC Surf Designs. Got a lot of stuff, man. Rap Jam Volume 1, which again, I assume that means there's a Volume 2 somewhere. I don't know. I got Arch Rivals, which is like an NBA Jam for NES, which is pretty fun. I got Fester's Quest for NES. I got Pokemon Stadium 2, Pokemon Stadium 2 for N64. I got McKids, and then I got Game Genie, a Game Genie, I guess you could say, for Sega Genesis. Capcom kills it. Monster Hunter Devil. Oh yeah, Resident Evil, Mega Man, Capcom. Yeah, Capcom is definitely my favorite company for video games of all time, hands down. Like with the Resident Evil, the Mega Man. I have all the Devil May Cries as well. Um, Silent Hill is good, but I think Resident Evil is better. I have every Resident Evil game probably ever made. I was talking about Sega Saturn earlier. I actually have. I even have Resident Evil from Sega Saturn. So this is a variant of Resident Evil. I think it's a little bit different. I've not played all the way through this one, but um, there's like an extra mode or something you can play in this one. I'm not 100% sure on that, but um, do- all right. So I got a Game Genie for Genesis. I also got a Pro. Yeah, Pro Action replays are good. So I got Devil May Cry. I also have Greatest Hits, Devil May Cry. I have Devil May Cry 2. I also have Greatest Hits, Devil May Cry 2. And I have Devil May Cry 3. I don't have the greatest hits for this one. This one doesn't have a manual. This one's complete. This one's complete. And this one's complete. So probably get rid of one of the ones that's not great, or one of the greatest hits ones, because I don't need all these Devil May Cry games, honestly. Another big banger is Def Jam Fight for New York that I have. I remember when Resident Evil 2 came out and I stayed at my friend's house. We played it nonstop for 2 days without sleeping. It was a life-changing game. That's what I did for Resident Evil Code Veronica on Dreamcast. I played that game nonstop for like 3 days straight at my friend's house over a weekend. Have you tried Bayonetta? It's very similar. I played it a long time ago, but I haven't played it since. So let's see. If you guys, if you like, if you like those kind of games, I recommend checking out Fatal Frame. So we got Fatal Frame 1, Fatal Frame 2, and Fatal Frame 3. Those are really good games to for survival horror. Another heavy on PS2 here is Haunting Ground. This is another Capcom game. So this is also complete as well. Futurama. This is also a heavy game. I don't know why this game costs so much, but it's fun. I played through it on a live stream one time. It was interesting. Check it out. I've got all the Silent Hills on PS2, but they're way down there on my shelf, so they're hard to get to. Um, I got this game on Sega, which is really good. If you've never checked it out, Comic Zone. This is complete. Has a CD in here with some music. Actually has that, and it's hard to tell maybe on the camera, but this box is pristine. I got this from a guy who took really good care of his collection. So I'm afraid when I move that it's going to get a little bit damaged. Just today I bought Marvel vs. Capcom and SNK vs. Capcom, and they're covering vs. Capcom, so I can play one and keep one sealed. Nice. I have, let's see, where is it? That's the Power Stone. That's also Power Stone. I know I have Marvel vs. Capcom somewhere. Here we go. I got it for Dreamcast. Marvel vs. Capcom. I want to get the second one. I don't like fighting games very much, but I like Marvel vs. Capcom and I like Mortal Kombat games. I have played Comic Zone. Yeah, Comic Zone is classic. It's good. I like it a lot. Um, Here's a game that not a lot of people have heard of. This is basically a Mega Man clone, the Cryon Quest. I put it in, I thought it looked interesting, and it was just basically Mega Man is what it is. Did all Genesis games come in a cardboard box? I don't think so. I think only certain ones did. Um, because I have a lot of, so like, for example, I'm just gonna grab like Castle of Illusion. This is the hard case. I love the hard cases for the Sega Genesis games. I think the hard cases are very good. I have every Monster Hunter game for 3DS and Switch sealed. Nice. I do not collect hand handheld stuff. I don't collect handheld stuff. And then I haven't really collected any more sealed. I think I have all the sealed I want. It's in another room in another case, but I'll show those off at some point. Last week I got a Japanese copy of Okami, the cover. Oh yeah, I really want to get Kuon. That's the one game I don't have. I have all the survival horror games on PS2 except Kuon. I mean, I even have Rule of Rose on PS2. Plastic usually, I thought. Yep, they usually came in plastic. Mega Drive games came in plastic book box. Yeah, they usually came in plastic. So Rule of Rose here. The only big survival horror game I'm missing on PS2 is Kuon. So, um, I got to play some pretty cool game on at PAX. If you guys like cool games, let's see some of the games I got to play here. Mm, Okay. Wow, Rover Super Rare. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's expensive. I don't know if it's actually rare. It's probably rare because what drives the price up, but it's a decent game too. God Save Birmingham is a fun game coming out soon. It's a zombie game. It's on Steam, but it's about um, like medieval times, surviving zombies. Dune, I got to play Dune as well for a little bit. I didn't like it. I wasn't a huge fan, but some people might like it if you like the movies. And then Shapes and Beats, just Shapes and Beats. This is a cool game. It's out now. It's on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, as well as on PC. Basically, like Geometry Wars, your little shape. You got to go around. You don't shoot anything. You just have to dodge the things that pop up on the screen. Game cardboard double dragon version. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't have any Mega Drive games. I don't collect any of those. But yeah, if you guys are new here, just shout out what your favorite game is. Let's see if I have it. If I don't, maybe I'll get it. If it looks like something I'd be interested in, shout out what your favorite console is. I'm always interested to hear that from people. Make sure you like, make sure you follow. If you follow, I do have podcasts every Wednesday that I put out, one new episode. I'll be putting out episode 25, I believe, this Wednesday. I interview retro game collectors from all over the world. We see some cool, rare stuff. And then I also have an Instagram that you can follow me on. It's Dr. Gamer Retro. I show off my collection. And then I also have a TikTok where I post different memes that I make, funny video game memes, and I post clips from the podcast as well. So definitely check those out. I sub. Thanks, Defo Zappo. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Definitely love meeting new people, learning new stuff about games that I've not learned. Hopefully that I can impart some knowledge onto you guys. I am in no way an expert on any of this, though. So on Saturday, this Saturday, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US, we're going to do a live stream. I've got two guys coming in, and we're going to do a competition of video game music trivia. So we're going to see who can get more music trivia video game music trivia correct. I'm going to play a song and have them guess what it came from. Then we'll talk about the games for a little bit. It'll be live, so you guys can comment and things like that. Just don't give the answers if you know. Definitely want to see if they get it right. But I've got some pretty cool episodes coming up on the podcast. It'll be maybe a couple months when they post, but there's one. If you guys know, I love the '80s and '90s. He's got a cool channel. He's got all kind. He's got a basement full of '80s and '90s stuff, including games. He's going to be on there. I do a whole episode about Resident Evil with a guy named Resident Evil Guy, and we talk about all the games and stuff. Video game music trivia is right up my alley. Nice. You have to come check it out. Hopefully, hopefully it works out. I'm working through the technicalities of it right now. I think there's a way to do it, but it is going to be live, so I just need to find a way to be able to see the chat at the same time because I stream through another program, but I think it will work. I think we'll be good. Um, Other episodes I have Embracer Games, which is a basically a museum of video games in Europe where they collect all games from all systems and they're trying to make a repository of all games, which is cool. And they had some really cool stuff to show that I hadn't seen. Tomorrow's episode, Sir Jumps a lot. He's got a lot of Switch stuff actually. He's got some of the limited run Switch stuff. He's got a lot of PC games, big box PC, which is fun. But yeah, I've had other people on the show before. If you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, Console Variations is a guy. He has a Discord where they talk about fakes and versus real games and consoles. He was on there. Do you have any mini '80s arcade machines like Ashores? No. So in terms of arcade machines, what I want to do is move. I'll be moving to a new house in July, and so I'm going to get a couple arcade machines, like real size arcade machines, probably arcade one ups, and put in my basement so I can play. So hopefully those will be in the background. I'll be doing a tour of the game room once I get it all set up, but it's probably going to take a little while to get it kind of where I want. But I can kind of show you guys progress as it goes. Video game music is super important to me. In fact, I'm working on an album that I want to show indie game makers because I would love to make music for games. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. There's a lot of classics like the Donkey Kong, Aquatic Ambience. That's a good one. GoldenEye. There's so many classic video game soundtracks. So, um, and then we were showing some. I love collecting games like this. So, like, this is a not for resale Super Mario 64. So the one over here at well, this one here says not for resale, and that's one of the ones that was in the um, Toys R Us kind of things where you'd play it. They look exactly the same. There's not really any difference except it says not for resale. Um, there's a bunch of these on Super Nintendo and a bunch on N64. I'm trying to collect all of them. It's proved to be a little difficult. Some of them are some of them are not that expensive, like this one, NCAA basketball, not for resale. That's a pretty cheap one that I was able to obtain. And then here's another one, Donkey Kong. I think I showed the Turtles game earlier, but not for resale. Donkey Kong Country, classic game by the way. Love Donkey Kong Country. Love the music. This one has a lot of good music in it. Um, I've got a lot of other ones for Nintendo 64 as well. So, um, yeah, Donkey Kong Country 2 is probably some of the best music ever. Check out Hot Head Bop and Bramble Scrambled. Oh, I remember Bramble Scramble. Yeah, those songs make me cry. Yeah, definitely the Donkey Kong games as a whole have really good music. Um, I'm trying to think what other games have really good music. Um, so, a funny thing about Capcom, we were talking in Resident Evil. I don't know if you guys know this game, Goof Troop, was made by Capcom and is made by the guy that made Resident Evil. So the actual like specific dude that was in charge of Resident Evil, he made this game, Goof Troop. So there's no zombies in it, so you guys know. Nothing like Resident Evil, but I have two arcade one-ups, SF and MK. The SF I upgraded the screen, joysticks, and buttons, and put the in a Pandora's box. Yeah, I want Streets of Rage. Gotcha. I Streets of Rage 2. I have Streets of Rage 2. Hold on. I think I do. I have Streets of Rage right here, complete in box. I have Streets of Rage 2, complete in box. I don't have the third one. Someone told me not to get the third one. I kind of wanted just to have the complete set, but someone said the third one is terrible. But I might have to get it to check it out. So we'll see. Chrono Trigger has the best music. RPGs I never really got into, but speaking of RPGs, let's see. Anthology. Hang on, I gotta find something to show you guys. Of course, it's gonna be all the way over here. Okay. And maybe you guys already knew this. Speaking of music and Resident Evil, this morning I woke up thinking about how beautiful the savory music is and all. Oh yeah, it's always the same, isn't it? Isn't it always the same music? But yeah, it's always very calming, and I think that's intentional because you're being chased by zombies and you're in a safe room. So, all right, so you guys might know this. I don't know, but there are several copies of um, Final Fantasy VII. So, oops. So keep this in mind. So here's a normal copy of Greatest Hits Final Fantasy VII. Streets of Rage 3 is terrible and expensive. Streets of Rage 4 is, oh, I didn't know there was a 4. I knew there was a 1, 2, 3. I'll have to check that out. So normal Greatest Hits. So open it up. You see, make sure you keep note of this, the background there, because it's not going to look the same in a second. And then the back is all normal right here. Okay, so keep that in mind. So now on this one, is this the right one? Yeah. So on this one, this is another greatest hits copy, right? But you open this up, and instead you've got Sephiroth in here. So he's actually supposed to be on the back. This is the double Sephiroth version because he's also back here. So that's the double Sephiroth version of Final Fantasy VII. And then another variant. So this is the normal Final Fantasy, not greatest hits. So, oops, what's going on here? Okay. So if you look back here very closely, where it says masterpiece, that I is misplaced. See how the I in masterpiece near the center of the screen is like a little up? So that's a variant because here's another copy of it. And on this one, the word masterpiece is just fine. So these are different variants of Final Fantasy VII. I love that kind of stuff. I love errors and variants and, things like that. All right. What do we got here? Did you know they're making a S of 5 3? Is that Streets of Rage again? I think that's supposed to be Streets of Rage. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a 4. So 1, 2, 3. I knew about those. I knew 3 was not good, and then 4 and 5 I had no idea about. So, um, Resident Evil is definitely my favorite video game series of all time, hands down. The newer ones, I don't like the newer ones so much. So I just recently replayed through 8 and 7, which I don't really like that much. 4 I don't like a lot, and Resident Evil 5 is awful, worst game ever made. 6 is not too much better. Doctor, I'm back. Oh, nice. A new Shinobi game coming out soon. Oh, really? I have, which one I have? 3? I think I have Shinobi 3. Yeah. So never really played those a lot when I was younger. But welcome back, Raj, by the way. Everyone say hi to Raj. Raj likes to meet new people. He's always in here dropping some games. This is which what fell? Biker Mice from Mars cartoon and a cool little game. Maniac Mansion here. This is a nice little point and click mystery. I'm surprised you didn't like RE4. Man, I think that when it comes to RE4, and we'll talk about this in my Resident Evil podcast that I'll post in several weeks, but Resident Evil 4, to me, that's when things started to change. So you have the originals like 1, 2, Code Veronica,
3, and 0. I count those all as like a group of games, and those were all great, and they had their own style. And then you got to 4, and we switched to the third person, and we went to another country, and just the story was a little bit okay. And then 5 was terrible with the co-op thing. 6 wasn't that fun. 7 was introducing a new character and going to a new place, and it's like, it's first person, okay. It kind of lost the nostalgic feel of Resident Evil. And then 8 just went way out of left field. It's a good survival horror game, Resident Evil 8, but it is not, in my opinion, a good Resident Evil game because without spoiling too much, there's too much like mystical fantasy kind of stuff, like some of the powers that people get. And I'm really upset that they killed off Wesker in Resident Evil 5 because he is probably one of my favorite all time villains of any game and my favorite Resident Evil character. 4 is very different, but it's a great. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's the best Resident Evil, and I know people who think it is. I think those are people who didn't grow up playing the originals, honestly. But it's a good game. I will say that. I just think the originals are much better. So, best one in my opinion, Resident Evil 2 is the best. Then Resident Evil 1, then Code Veronica, then 3, and then 0. So those are the top in my opinion. And then comes 4. 4 is the best of the newer games for sure. I would argue 5 is the worst of the newer ones. 8 is also up there as one of the worst. I thought it again, and this is strictly speaking as a Resident Evil game, not as a horror game. Because as a survival horror game, I would give Resident Evil 8 like 100%. It's perfect. But as a Resident Evil game, I don't think it was. Resident Evil 2 is the best, 100%. Resident Evil 2 was the first one that I remember playing multiple times. Like I played it through, I think 7 or 8 times, like in a row until I moved on to a new game. You must have loved 7. 7 was old school haunted house horror. I love horror movies. 7 had a special place in my heart. I didn't like it. It just didn't really connect with me from the story of Resident Evil. It was too kind of out there. The first person was cool. It was definitely one of the scariest Resident Evil games. I'll give it that. I liked it as a horror game, yes, but not as a Resident Evil game. And I think they've strayed away from the storyline and the main. I think it it's kind of lost its way. That's just my opinion. Other people might disagree, but overall, though, I think Resident Evil is a fantastic series. Resident Evil 9 will be coming out soon. I'm excited to see what that'll be about. I have a feeling it'll involve Chris, but I don't know. I used to always wonder what it would be like to play 7 in VR. I couldn't afford the experience though, but I often wish I could. I've seen people play it in VR. It's pretty scary. In all honesty, Devil May Cry 1 is a better Resident Evil game than any of the newer games. That's true. Yeah, Devil May Cry is a lot of fun. I agree. I agree. Resident Evil, the newer games are rough, man. If you never played Resident Evil 5, there's just something about it. And Resident Evil 6 is a little out there too, but 7 and 8 just kind of completely changed everything again. And so I'm hoping in 9 we go back to the third person view. Um, and 7 and 8, the thing I didn't like about them is they're very linear. So you play straight through. You don't have to go to one room, go back to another room, go around. It's very much linear as opposed to Resident Evil 3 or 2 or 1 where you have to go back to places multiple times, solve puzzles. There's really no puzzles in the you do have to find some items, but I mean, there's maybe one or two puzzles in Resident Evil 8, and they're not really that hard. So the ones in Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 1, those were tough. Those were hard puzzles. Village was even greater than 7. Capcom devs are geniuses for sure. Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of success. It had a lot of success. I just don't think it was in the traditional sense of what a Resident Evil game is to me. Kind of like the movies. The movies were not following in the games very much, but they did well. They were successful. But yeah, we can talk about that sometime. There's like I said, there'll be an episode of my podcast coming up with just all Resident Evil stuff, where all we do is talk about Resident Evil. We basically go through each game, talk about it a little bit. We talk about some of the Resident Evil movies, things like that, characters, some of the enemies. It's a lot. I had a lot of fun making. It's probably one of the longest episodes I did. We'll have to come back and do a part two, honestly. Only problem with Capcom is how long they sit on their IPs. Hmm. Yeah, I never really thought about that, but yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm excited to see where Resident Evil 9 goes. We'll see what happens because there's definitely going to be people who love it and people who hate it, I'm sure. But I think it's going to have to do with with Chris based on the way 8 ended. But we'll see. There were some cool parts of Resident Evil 8, don't get me wrong. But guys, again, if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Make sure you like the channel. To like, you have to actually click the like thumbs up. The heart actually, I don't know what that does, just gives me hearts or something to move it up in the algorithm, but the like actually likes the video. But the hearts are welcome too, whatever you guys want to do. But I love getting more people in here. It's nice when we have, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in here who are all chatting and talking about video games because I don't have to talk that much. I honestly don't like talking that much. I love when other people are in here talking and asking questions. And so, but yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram as well if you have one. On Instagram, it's Dr. Gamer Retro. I show off my collection. I have a TikTok where I post some clips from the podcast as well as some funny videos that are video game related. So follow me on there at Dr. Gamer Retro, and then make sure you subscribe and follow me here if you haven't already. But we got 3 people in here right now, so I know Raj is in here, Defo Zappo. I'm not sure who the third person is, but welcome. We do not bite. Feel free to chat. Feel free to say hi, whatever you want to do. The more people who talk, the more fun this is. Trust me. You guys don't want to hear me talk the whole time. I would love to see a game that would be like Capcom versus everyone, like a fighting game, like a Capcom characters versus like Mortal Kombat characters, Tekken characters, Dead or Alive, like all that. That'd be kind of cool. Have a great day. Yeah, you too, man. Have a great day. I'm not getting off or anything. I'm probably going to go for another 10 minutes or so, but if you got to go, no worries, man. You have a great day as well. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for subscribing too. Appreciate it. Raj, how was your run? You said you went on a run. That was a quick run. Yeah, I'll probably go for about 10 more minutes here. And then the next stream, so make sure you guys mark your calendar on March, what is that? Is that 17th, I think? On Saturday, whatever Saturday is, this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a live video game music trivia challenge. Going to have 2 other people in here. It's going to be live. Hopefully it goes well. We'll see. So make sure you mark your calendars for that, guys. Do you know if there were any handheld RE? There were. There was. Oh, I thought you were saying goodbye, but yeah, I'm at work. I should go. Adios. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. If you got work to do, for real. But I definitely appreciate you tuning in, man. So hope to see you next time. Next time I'm gonna do. I'll probably do this on. Man, when am I gonna do it? Friday? Maybe Friday. I'll do another one where I show off some of my more rare games, the sealed ones, the complete in box ones, the ones that are graded. I have a couple graded games. So handheld RE games. Yep. There was, I forget what it's called, but there was a remake of RE1 on the DS where you could when you use your knife, you swipe on the screen, and that swipes your knife. There was one other one, which I don't remember what it was called. Gaiden, Resident Evil Project Gaiden, and I don't know much about that one. I've never played it. I don't collect handheld games, so I don't know a lot about it. But yeah, there were some handheld ones. I think the Resident Evil remake one that's on DS is actually, I was told, pretty good. So 4 viewers in here, guys. Make sure mark your calendars for this Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a live video game trivia challenge between 2 other Instagrammers. So make sure you subscribe so you get notified when that starts. Make sure you put it in your calendar so you show up. It's going to be live here on YouTube. Should be a lot of fun. I don't know how long it'll last, but we'll go until it's over. And then make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We got weekly podcast episodes with random video game collectors from all over the world. So DSRE games are highly rated. Yeah, that's what I had heard. Like I said, I don't collect them. I've never played them. My run was good, 30 minutes. Oh man, I didn't realize time flies when you're having fun. I didn't realize you were gone for 30 minutes. That's crazy. Seemed like it was only 10 minutes. I only have one DS game. Or no, Game Boy Advance. Sorry, I have a Game Boy Advance game. It's the only handheld. I have a couple DS games that I won in like an auction that I'm gonna sell because I don't collect them. One's Mario Kart Loose, Mario Kart DS Loose. The other is Shrek Complete in Box, and then Mama's Cooking or something Cook Off Complete in Box. And I have this Game Boy Advance game that I bought something online and some guy threw this. I kind of knew him and he threw this in for free, but he knew well in advance that I didn't have a Game Boy Advance, so it was just to tease me. and there's no cover on it. So I did manage to put this in somewhere to get it to play, and it's Lord of the Rings. So, but it was kind of cool. It was like a mystery game. So, guys, 4 viewers in here. Say hi. Request any games you want to see. Tell me what the worst game you've ever played is because I want to play terrible games and review them and see if they're just as bad as you guys say they are. So let me know. Also, make sure you mark the calendar for this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US. We're going to have a video game trivia challenge, video game music trivia challenge. So that should be a lot of fun. Hope to see you all there. And then also make sure you subscribe and follow. You can follow me here and then also on Instagram where I show off my collection and also on TikTok where I post some funny videos and clips from my podcast. So, like I said, guys, the more you guys talk, the less I have to. The less I have to talk. So, I've been there before though. I've been in other people's streams where I'm like, I don't really want to say anything. I kind of want to just watch and listen, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But definitely feel free to, we're all nice here. We love talking about games. We love chatting. So many RE games on DS that I can't name them all, but there's Revelations, Mercenaries, Deadly Silence is I think that's the remake of Resident Evil 1 that's on DS, I'm pretty sure. Revelations came out on Wii as well, I think. And then Mercenaries, I remember that one as well. Yeah, they're kind of like side stories. Another one that people don't know a lot about is Resident Evil Dead Aim, which is on PS2. That was on a ship with a new character. It was interesting. And you've got Resident Evil, uh, shoot, what's it called? Outbreak, Resident Evil Outbreak, and there's File 1 and File 2. Those are online games that were made for PS2 where you play as a team, kind of like Left 4 Dead, where you kind of got to get to the end, get to the objective. They didn't have as much success as they could have, but Revelations is on DS. Yeah, but isn't there another Revelations or something that's on Wii? Or maybe that's Umbrella Chronicles, isn't it? I feel like Revelations is on another console as well. Because I feel like I've played it and I never have played a DS, but I could be wrong. 5 viewers in here, guys. So again, make sure you say hi. Make sure you chat, ask questions, whatever you want to know about retro gaming. If you want to see a game, if you have a recommendation for a game, or um, just want to say hi, we don't bite, I promise. And make sure you mark your calendars this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. No, never mind. Now we're down to three. We keep oscillating between three and four and five, but that's cool. I don't need to repeat myself if same people are in here hearing me. So. Revelations is on ours. Okay, yep, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I was pretty sure I played that. I think I played it on Wii though. I used to have a Wii. I don't have a Wii. The Wii is not a fun system in my opinion. I didn't. It was okay. Um, I'm getting an original Xbox soon because one of my other favorite games of all times on online is Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell had an amazing online game, and apparently there's still a way to play it if you have a modded Xbox and can kind of join a server and play. And so my friend has one, and he's got one for me, and we're going to be able to play Splinter Cell together, which will be so much fun because I love that game. The mercenaries versus the spy is so fun. There's nothing like it. It's very unique. So, you guys have any plans this weekend other than watching my live stream? Of course, obviously you guys are going to be there, but if you guys ever think of any people that you think should be on the podcast, throw that out as well. And again, any games that are um, recommendations, either good or bad. I don't like average games. I like really good games or really bad games. So let me know. I want to start doing. I do have Twitch. I did a few streams early on. I streamed Futurama and the Fatal Frames and Dino Crisis 1 and 2. I need to get back into that. So once I have a better setup, it's just too crowded where I'm at now. I'll have a bigger room. I have a room entirely dedicated to gaming. I didn't know there were so many RE games on handheld. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of Resident Evil games as well in general. I didn't know that. So Nintendo 64 has Resident Evil 2, and that's the only one. And then the other, I didn't know that Dreamcast had Resident Evil 3 or Resident Evil 2 on it, which it does. I didn't know Sega Saturn had Resident Evil on it. Doctor, what's happening this weekend? I think I missed your announcement. Oh, on Saturday at 4 p.m. live Eastern on YouTube, I'm going to live stream. We're going to do video game music trivia challenge. It's going to be two users, Downstab Official and Yeah, That's Retro. They're both from Instagram, friends of mine. I'm going to play a song. They're going to try to guess what it is if they can hear it, if I can get that to work. If I can't get that to work, then what we're going to do is something different. We're going to do probably video game quotes, and they just have to guess where the quote came from. But we'll see if we can get it to work, and hopefully we do. But that's going to be Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So make sure you guys tune in. Hopefully it'll work out. I think it will, but we'll see. There's always other options if it doesn't completely work out. Should be a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and at 7 p.m. my time, I'm so there. Nice. I thought you were on Eastern time. I thought you were on New York time for some reason, but I didn't know that. So 7 p.m. Yeah, I figure 4 p.m. is a good time, like right in the middle, because I have some friends in the UK. So that'll be like 10 p.m. for them, which is nice on a Saturday. And then there's also people on the West Coast, like California, and that'd be like 1 o'clock for them. So it'll be uh, it'll be good. Did I say? Hold on, 4 p.m. Eastern, right? Is that what I said? Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's right. Chubby Retro, hey, what's going on? Welcome in. No, wait, I am Eastern time. I got mixed up. Okay, that's what I thought. See, it's funny, Raj, that I had to tell you what time zone you were on. Chubby Retro, welcome in. I think you've been in here before. Um, for reals, y'all, you made it. Wow. What do you call the West Coast time? Pacific. West Coast is Pacific time. There's Pacific, there's Mountain, Central, Eastern. Those are the four time zones of the US. Pacific Standard, yeah. Welcome in, Chubby Retro. How's it going? What are you up to today? What do you got going on? I was showing off some of my games I picked up from PAX, talking about some of the games that they had that you could play there. We were talking about some other games. Soon I'm going to log off here. My wife is in Germany. Every day we play Monster. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Isn't that awesome that you can be in different countries and play a game together? And that, maybe 30 years ago was never possible. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. 7:49 a.m. in Japan now. Oh, that's right. You're in Japan, aren't you? Man, that's why I was wondering why you weren't here. I was like, man, where's For Reals, y'all? He always shows up, but it's because you're in Japan. Well, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time US in the on YouTube, I'm going to do on Saturday, we're going to have a live show of video game music trivia challenge between two people. So make sure I don't know what time that'll be for you in Japan, but that's probably going to be in the middle of the night for you. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it'll be live. It'll be recorded. You can go back and watch it later for reals, y'all. Don't worry. Playing Doom Dark Ages. Nice. I've not played that. I do like Doom on the SNES. How it has the red color, which is pretty sweet. Saturday 4 p.m. I'm marking it on my Google Calendar now, so I'll get a notification. Nice. That's very good idea. I actually have it in my calendar too, so I remember. So six people in here right now, guys. Make sure you drop, your favorite game, your least favorite game. I love to play terrible games too. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Weekly podcast episodes every Wednesday about with random video game collectors from all over the world that I interview. It's a lot of fun. You can tell I love Capcom. Monster Hunter has really helped out my wife and I. She absolutely loves Resident Evil 2. Lately, I'm playing Okami and Devil May Cry 2. Yeah, you can't really. It's hard to play. You can't play Resident Evil cooperatively, unfortunately. Well, Resident Evil 5 you can play cooperatively, which that one's not very fun. I've been busy traveling. I made it this time. If I can't catch a show, I watch the recording. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I've already bought 11 games in Japan, mostly Saturn. Ooh, I picked up some more Saturn games actually. So I was showing off. You can watch the rest later to see what I picked up from PAX East, but I got Sonic 3D Blast for Sega Saturn. I picked this up this weekend. And then, oops, again, I got a lot of games, but these are the Sega Saturn ones I picked up. I got Die Hard Arcade, which is a lot of fun. And then unfortunately, this game, Corpse Killer, I picked up because I want to play it. I need a light gun to play it because I love those kind of games, but it's two discs. Disc one doesn't work, so I need to get a new this one for this in order to play it, which is unfortunate. Speaking of Japan, have you gone game hunting there? As you've I hear game hunting in Japan is really frugal. No, I haven't. I haven't been to Japan, but for reals, y'all is there right now. I'd like to go there. I don't want to get any Japanese games really because I don't speak Japanese. I'd rather get the English versions, but I can imagine there's still some pretty cool stuff for someone who wants all US versions of games. Am I getting a Switch 2? No. I didn't pre-order one. I don't think that I don't play my Switch enough, and mainly I'm just focused on retro games right now, as well as focused on Xbox. I play a lot of Xbox because my friends have it, so it allows me to play with them. They live all over the country, so we all have Xbox Live and can play. Nice, cool to see you got more Saturn stuff. Yeah, it is nice. I did get, a couple more Saturn games. That brings me, I think, to 10 or 11 games on Saturn now, which is good. We played other games together online, but we love Monster Hunter the most, especially because we're helping each other and not fighting against each other. Oh, yeah, cooperative is definitely good. You should check out if you like cooperative games. It Takes Two, if you've ever played that, is really fun. And then they also made a new game recently called Split Fiction, which is also really fun for two people to play. Um, Especially if it's your wife, because it's like one character in the It Takes Two is a girl, one's a boy, so it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. We play no. Ah, I see. For reals, y'all, I am going to mod you actually, because you're here all the time. And let's see. That way, if anyone comes in is doing silly stuff, you can uh, you can do something to kick them out or something. If you're not playing your Switch anymore, then you can set it sailing towards the. No, man, I still want it. I still play it occasionally. It's actually the only system that I'll get my wife to play because she'll play the Mario Party games and stuff occasionally. Just the simpler games that, because she's not a huge gamer. But one thing that sucks about Switch 2 is that most third-party games aren't game key cards, which don't include game data. They're basically just keys to download games. Yeah, that's everything's going digital, man. There's nothing like having actual copies of games. Digital games are just kind of ruining things nowadays. But if you tell me about those games, oh, good. Yeah, you guys should definitely take them out. Check them out. Yeah, for sure. Keycard thing sucks. I love having me. Oh yeah, 100%. Keycard thing is just kind of silly, and they're doing it just to benefit themselves. It doesn't really benefit any gamers. Switch is a JRPG juggernaut. Yeah, and see, I'm not into JRPGs, so I never really had a reason to get it. Do you have any handhelds and games? No, no handhelds. I have a couple that I need to get rid of because they came in with a bundle that I just randomly got, and then I got this Game Boy Advance game, which is Lord of the Rings, which I got in a bundle. Um, SNES used to be my favorite console, but Switch is now. I would say N64 is my favorite console. Lots of good multiplayer games. It's just an awesome system all around. It's a lot of fun. You can play it with 4 players. It's one of the first times you could do that, and so I just love that about the N64. And I've always been, when it comes to place Sony versus Nintendo versus Microsoft, I hate to say it, I've always been a Microsoft fan. When Xbox came out, I got it, loved Halo. And I think it has a lot to do with all my friends also having an Xbox because that's what we could play together. So that's kind of why I gravitated towards Xbox. Physical media is important. I'll focus on supporting that where I can. Yeah, for sure. I love physical media. I think it's very nice to be able to look at something and touch it. Keycard thing is even more reason for me to keep up my physical collection. Oh yeah, eventually everything will go completely digital, and you won't be able to see any of these games anymore. Um, Little did you guys know that Resident Evil actually came out on NES? I don't know if you knew that, but no, I'm just kidding. This is a ROM hack. I haven't played it yet, but I think maybe around Halloween time this year I'll stream it. But I do have all the Mega Mans on NES, so if you guys are into that, I have this Mario Bros. Arcade. Yeah, that is true. So what you said about N64 being my favorite. So N64 has Resident Evil 2, which is nice, and that's my favorite Resident Evil of all time. PS1, you're right. All the good Capcom games were on PS1, but I would say that PS2 is a close second to my favorite. And the reason I say PS2 is because if I have a PS2, I can also play all the PS1 games. So that's what I like about that. But there's a lot of good survival horror games on PS1 and PS2, but I don't think it justified making that my favorite console just for that reason. Are you hearing how on disc they're putting part of the game and the rest you have to download, and for Switch they're just putting a license key on a cartridge in the game you have to download? I did hear about the Switch. I didn't know about that with the discs. That's crazy. I love, I when it comes to discs, I was thinking about this today. When it comes to discs or cartridges, I feel like cartridges have more longevity in them and last longer. Discs don't last as long. So, like for instance, I bought all these games I got, all the cartridges I bought worked and there was no issue, but two of the disc games I bought don't work. So Corpse Killer, and then I also got Super Monkey Ball 2, and this doesn't work. The disc, and I tried cleaning it, it doesn't work. So I think cartridges are much better than discs, honestly. Isn't Resident Evil for NES Sweet Home? Oh, that I don't know. I know Resident Evil is based on Sweet Home. Um, I think I think this game actually, I've seen screenshots of it, is like a Resident Evil kind of NES game, but I love physical ROM hacks and custom retro games. So cool. Yeah, custom retro games are pretty cool. I think that's the only one I have. Oh, no, I have one more. Sorry. I have two custom retro games, and it's a Zelda one. So, Zelda here. This is The Missing Link. Not played it yet, so I don't know much about it, but seemed interesting. GameCube is such an underrated console. You know what I think is an underrated console? Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast didn't get the support that it really needed. It had a lot of great potential, had a lot of great games on it. I mean, like we showed Dynamite Cop earlier. Dynamite Cop. And you got Crazy Taxi, which was a lot of fun. This are more sensitive, so they're a bit more to collect. Yep, for example, for the new Doom, they just put about 35 gigs of the game on the disc. Most of the game you have to download. That's kind of silly. So Dreamcast was definitely there's a lot of good games. D2, this is a fun game if you've never played it. I have it on Dreamcast. I also have Illbleed. Let's see. Ooh, this is one of my favorite Dreamcast games of all time, Jet Grind Radio. Highly recommend this game if you've never played it before. Discs are more sensitive, so they're a bit more of a bother. Yeah, that's why all my disc games I make sure I have the case for. If I get them, I don't get them without cases. Um, I don't know where my ill bleed is. Smarter vs. Cat. Here it is. Ill bleed. This is a fun game on Dreamcast. So ill bleed. And then I don't know if I think I showed this earlier, but this is like the Cryon Conquest. This is a clone of Mega Man. Everything about this game is in my opinion is just essentially taken from Mega Man. So I love how Dreamcast games look. Dreamcast is amazing. I remember being blown away by the graphics. Oh yeah, Dreamcast was revolutionary. It's the first time you could play online. It had some really good fun games. It was 4 player out of the box. You had to buy an adapter. After I have to drop off now, my brother, there is a horror story radio play stream at 7. I can't miss you on set. Nice. Have fun, man. Yeah, I'm probably gonna hop off here in like 2 minutes. So guys, again, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I do weekly podcasts every Wednesday um, with an interview with a new retro video game collector every Wednesday. It's always someone new. On Saturday, I'm going to. Do you have Soul Calibur? I don't have Soul Calibur. No, I need to get that one. I've heard that. I played. I do remember playing that one briefly. I don't like. Not huge on fighting games though, but I know Soul Calibur is a classic. On Saturday. They're at 4 p.m. Eastern Time US. We're going to do a video game music trivia challenge between two other users. It's going to be live on YouTube. Make sure you tune in, check it out. Follow me on Instagram. I show off my collection there. Follow me on Twitch. I'm going to start streaming again soon, probably in another couple months once I get a better setup. And follow me on TikTok. I show clips from the podcast on there and post some funny memes. I think they're funny. You guys might not think they're funny, but I think they're funny. And then, yeah, make sure you subscribe and follow me on here so you get notifications when I do stream. I don't really have a live schedule. Next live show I'm going to do is probably going to be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday sometime. Hopefully, I think by then I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to show off some of my sealed and more rare, more expensive items I have in my collection. So, guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for checking in. 2 hours of a stream. We had 45 views. That's awesome. We had some new people in here. Want to shout out all the new people. Defo Zappo, thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it. I really love when new people come in and we learn new stuff and talk to new people. But guys, I'm gonna go grab something to eat. So I'll see you guys probably sometime this weekend. Definitely on Saturday. Make sure you tune in to the live show. I'm not big on fighting games, but there's some that are amazing. Like yeah, Bushido Blade's good, Soul Calibur, Killer Instinct, Marvel vs. Capcom is good. I like the Mortal Kombat franchise myself. Those are the newer ones, especially. I think are pretty good, and Killer Instinct's fun as well. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. See you around. I'll check the early parts to see the additions to the collection. Oh yeah, check it out, man. Got quite a few games. So thanks for popping in. I know it's early, but enjoy your time in Japan. Hopefully you're adjusted to the time. So, all right, guys, take care. We'll see you around.